While you're peeling the shame away, only one way back to another episode of Trash on the Street. We're still here at the Flying Bagger. I'm still named Trash. The rain is done. The metal is still fucking rolling though. And now we got another new blood band. And they're actually a little bit newer blood. Volition was around for a while. But this is Exit Wound. And I'm very stoked about this because this is one of my fucking favorite new
Hello, Che and Nick. And whoever else might be watching at this moment in time. So, there's been some crazy shit that's gone on today, I guess. And I had to bring it up
because it is absolutely insane. There was a cartel killing and a monkey in a bulletproof vest got killed. Yeah. Story of the century. Yeah. Now the boss is interested. She knows what's up. Monkey. Hit monkey. I think the monkey was the target. I think the monkey was the target of the whole hit. I haven't read the article on this yet. We're going to read the article on this right now. So, once I learn how to use my mouse. Okay, let's fucking get into this.
Boiled fish. Boiled carrot.
We'll have to start over a bit there.
Hey, I'm Nate Trash. Welcome back to another episode of Trash Talk. Welcome back. Another episode of Trash Talk. Another day where Nate mutes the microphone and can't hear dick, piss, pee-poo all. All right. What's going on with this monkey? Let's see what the deal is here with this monkey, man. Not a monkey man. It's not a man that's a monkey. Before we start, let's get into these sponsors. So, Cursed Earth Apparel and Print, Octave Studios, Medicine Hat, Intrinsic Productions, Loud as Hell, Armstrong Metal Fest, SMA Metal Fest, Intersect Art and Music Festival, Apply Within Audio, Lethbridge, Camp Misfit Clothing, Mountain Bistro, and Pizzeria Bragg Creek. Also, this podcast is developed and created and filmed on Treaty 7 land. Part of the Blackfoot territory. Thank you all for joining me tonight. That's right. 11 people and a monkey in a bulletproof vest killed in a Mexican cartel shootout. What do we think about this? What do we think about this, everybody? I think this is absolutely insane. I think it's pretty par for the course these days. Soldiers patrol the streets during the funeral of Mayor Cesar Arturo Valencia in Aguililla, Michoacan State, Mexico on March 11th. A spider monkey dressed to resemble a cartel mascot, complete with a hoodie, a bulletproof vest, and a diaper, was killed in a shootout in Mexico on Tuesday. According to Associated Press, 11 suspected gang members, whose leader was the monkey. The leader of the gang was the monkey for sure. We got to be putting bets down on this. Who thinks that the monkey was the leader of this gang? I do. Che, don't make fun of me. Okay, I did my... Yeah, so Eddie Bones would say that that's just Mexican shit. But... And Che, don't make fun of me, man. That's rude, bro. Very sensitive about that stuff. Guy, come on, bro. Supposed to be my bud. So we got about 10 minutes until our guest pops in. Let's keep reading. Let's go. Okay. The monkey was found alongside the body of a slain gunman. A photo of the deceased monkey and its gear was later released to the public and declared authentic by Mexican authorities. Okay, so This is going to be dead monkey in a bulletproof vest. Whoa. That is a dead monkey in a hoodie and a bulletproof vest. Wow. See, he was the leader of the cartel. Sorry, trigger warning for anybody who might be sensitive to that kind of thing. A primate was killed at the scene, which was presumably owned by a criminal who was also killed at the scene. An autopsy will be carried out on the animal by a veterinarian specialized in the species. They said animal trafficking charges would be considered against the suspects who survived the shootout, all 2 or 3 of them, that they're going to be probably killed. Since this has hit the airwaves and this has hit the news, they're presumably going to be killed now. On Wednesday, just one day after the spider monkey was discovered, the Attorney General for Environmental Protection said authorities seized a Bengal tiger in Tukwala in the Pacific Coast state of Nayarit near the border with Sinaloa. The infamous Sinaloa cartel, a large organized crime syndicate and drug trafficking group, is prominent in this region. The Mexican EPO claimed it was searching for the tiger after a viral clip showed on social media showed the tiger wandering the streets. Oh. That is a big ass tiger walking around in Mexico. And he's looking for little house cats. Oh, daddy comes up with his leash and takes the tiger home. Oh, he looks like a nice kitty. He looked like a nice kitty. He just came up and he saw his dad and he was like, look at you. Give me some of that steak. Give me some of that people meat. Oh. Pardon me. All these animals love is people meat. That's the most yummiest meat that they can think of. In the video, several women are standing on a residential street and shouting in Spanish, "Be quiet, it might come close." I don't think they were actually shouting that. I think the person who wrote this might be dumb. Once the tiger in the video is settled on the ground in front of the vehicle, a man approaches the animal with a lasso and secures it around the tiger's neck. He leads the tiger away without issue. After seizing the tiger, Mexican authorities claim the animal's claws and fangs have been removed. Last week, authorities claimed to locate another tiger, this time in the western state of that one that was the one before. Michoacan. I think that's it, Che. Michoacan. I might be right there. The tiger allegedly mauled a man through a chain-linked enclosure on June 12th. The Associated Press reported that the man could be seen feeding the tiger with one hand in it because the other one was bitten off, I presume, in an unauthenticated video posted on social media. When the man reached out to pet the tiger, the animal bit his arm and would not relent. The tiger also bit the man's other arm. Told ya. Michoacan state law enforcement authorities confirmed the man was taken to a hospital where he died a few days later from his injuries. Security analyst David Saucedo. Ooh. I like that name. Saucedo. Yeah. Saucedo told the Associated Press that drug traffickers often keep exotic animals as a symbol of status and power, imitating the Colombian drug lords of the 80s and 90s. Mexican drug traffickers copied from the Medellin cartel the custom of acquiring exotic animals and setting up private zoos, Saucedo said. According to the code of the drug trafficking aristocracy, having a private zoo was a prerequisite for being part of the circle of big-time drug traffickers. Saucedo continued, telling the Associated Press that sometimes exotic animals were also utilized by cartels for more sinister purposes, including the use of tigers and crocodiles to disappear and devour victims. Spicy.
I wouldn't feel too bad, Nick. I have a feeling that these people are all cartel people. Hey, look at that. That's double time me. Double the me. Quadruple the fun times. So let's go see what's on the YouTube here. The fudge knuckles. Let's see what's on for new. What do we got for new releases? What came out? What has been released recently? Joker's Republic. Those aren't new releases. I was supposed to be tagged in a post here. What's the dealio? What's the delicious dealio? The delicio. Oh, nice. I like that. Still nothing from Austen yet. There's Austen right there. Okay, we're going to YouTube. We're going to see what came out. New metal releases. Where are we at? June 2020. Huh. Mark Bates. Mark Bates. What's the password? Ooh. Shit. Oh, Austin's in there. Okay, so I don't want to Maple Run. Doesn't sound fun. That doesn't sound like a fun, awesome, cool, exciting name. 1 year ago. That's not. Behemoth. Oh, look at that. Austin.
Hey,
How are you doing, buddy?
see where audio's coming through.
1 sec here, bud. Oh, yeah.
What's going on? How are you?
I'm good, buddy. I'm just going to get you plugged into our little chat screen here.
Word. Thank you so much for having me. Especially in time to promote the new album.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay? Is it coming through the mic okay?
Yeah, it could be turned up a little bit, but we're all right.
Hang on. Look towards me. This any better?
Yeah.
Fireworks. Some jerk off setting off outside.
Just 1 sec here, buddy.
Yeah, sure.
There he is.
Sorry, I'm coming in late, by the way.
No worries at all, buddy. No worries at all. Oh, yeah.
it just completely took graphics to a whole nother level. Yeah, Crisis, like yeah, maybe Crisis or something like that. It was
There, that's the one right there. Perfect. I had my friend on, and his camera was a little bit weird, so we had to adjust it. Awesome. All right, now. Okay. Um. All right. I think we're good to go, buddy.
alrighty. Ready when you are. I'm very excited.
Yeah, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Just trying to, keep my head above water with the accelerated timetable of this release. But, for the most part, I'm keeping alive.
Right on. Hell
Thank
yeah.
you again for having me on the show. I'm sorry that it took so long to make it happen, but I'm happy that I could have at least something new to bring with me.
I honestly take full responsibility for that. Stuff gets crazy all the time.
Tell me about it. It's like trying to keep this tour going and this release on time, especially considering everything that's happened in the past couple months. I've been tearing my hair out, like legitimately trying to keep it together.
Well, you look like you're keeping it together pretty well, buddy. So why don't you introduce yourself for my viewers?
Hello, everybody. My name is Austen Gray. I am the frontman, guitarist, and lead singer of New Jersey ska punk band Joker's Republic.
Love it. I love ska punk so much. I was listening to Mustard Plug and Link 80 today.
Mustard Plug are very, very, very cool people. We had the privilege to open up for them right after we had come off of our first tour in Jersey, and they were nothing but awesome to us. I'm also a big Link 80 fan too.
Nice. Very nice. Where did the name Joker's Republic come from?
So as we started, we just kind of quickly picked a name because we had a gig, and at the time it was just like a punk rock cover band with a completely different lineup than who's in it right now. So we panic picked a name just to get on the gig, and we weren't super happy with it. So when it came to establishing the identity of the ska band with the original lineup, we decided to do something that was like pop culture and politics. And at the time, Batman Arkham City, the video game, was very popular. Also, there was something going on in China. So we took the People's Republic of, right? And then we took Arkham, and that eventually morphed into Joker's Republic.
Oh, very nice. Very clever. I like that. I like Batman a lot. I watched the recent one, though, and I just couldn't get a handle on it. It had
Robert Pattinson one?
Yeah, it had the vibe of like, let's get excited for this guy who can do the brutal stuff that cops get busted for. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. This is like a go cops drama. I'm not down with that very much.
Yeah.
I like the old school
that's
Batman.
Definitely a very different vibe than the Dark Knight stuff that was popular at the time we came up with the name, for sure.
But I'm all for new reimaginings of Batman every day of the week. One of these weeks they'll come across something that I like, I guess. The last two, Joker and the Batman, didn't really work out for me that well. I didn't like them too much.
That's also, I mean, there's something to be said about DC specifically. It's just they're so not in the same league as Marvel when it comes down to movie making. Like, I'm not really into comics too much, so I can't speak to the writing of the original source material, but it just seems like Marvel's got the market locked on the superhero movie right now.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. DC has fallen behind way, way big time. Like, they have this thing with this channel, the TV channel, the CW. And they keep putting out these really shitty, weird TV shows on the CW. And it's like, I bet if you put a little bit more work into some of these ideas and made them into a movie and quit making these miserable fucking wannabe Marvel movies, like, I don't know. I also am not like a multi-million-dollar producer or director, right? So I might be wrong here.
Yeah, I'm just the fan that's watching the network and giving you ad revenue. What do I know?
Yeah, exactly. That's right. I pay for it. I don't know what I want. That's for sure. So, what are your main influences for Joker's Republic?
Started playing guitar because of American Idiot. So throughout all of the stuff that I write and I play, there's definitely a very strong influence. But I grew up on ska and punk and even a little bit of metal. So for what we're doing with Jokers, it's kind of like if Blink-182 and Green Day mashed with Real Big Fish and Streetlight Manifesto. With a little bit of like weird metal and from the other guys in the band, emo influence thrown in just for good measure.
So, I'm going to stop you for a sec because it sounds like your audio's coming in really weird. Does anybody else notice that? Or is it just me?
Audio.
Check one of your cords. It sounds like one of your connections is off.
Let me try taking the pad out real quick. All right, is this any better?
No, is my audio coming out weird, guys? Is my audio crackling?
It's crackling. Okay.
Does my audio sound crackly to you?
Not to me.
Okay. Okay, yeah, they say it's just your audio.
Oh, that's why.
No, I can't hear you now. Oh.
Is this any better? Oh, that's
No.
way hot. Okay.
No, that's loud. Or that's not loud enough.
Louder?
A little louder.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay, cool. Sorry, the settings switched over from my microphone. I apologize.
Oh, no, it's crackly. It's still crackly now.
It's still crackly.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all right. Sometimes we have issues like this.
All right, I'm just going to switch off the microphone real quick.
Yeah,
Okay, how's this?
that's better.
Cool. I'm just switching over to...
Okay, perfect.
Cool. Sorry about that, everybody.
No worries. These things happen.
Alrighty. So
you said Streetlight Manifesto in there. That's pretty bold to say because they are absolute fucking shredders.
I mean, 100%, yeah. I mean, with three guys, it's definitely difficult to make the comparison to a band with 5 horns and 9 members. But one of my favorite moments from recording this new record, we're about to put out a new album called Necessary Evil that we worked on with Roger from Less Than Jake.
Yeah,
And
I saw that. That's awesome.
When we were recording it, we have a special guest on the title track that has not been announced yet, as far as I know. And he was playing the song back for the guest who recorded on it and described us as a combination between Real Big Fish and Streetlight to the other guy.
Nice.
Which, for me, those being my 2 favorite bands of all time, I freaked out. I was like, what? You just met us like 5 days ago. That's pretty high praise. And he went on to be like, yeah, no, you can totally hear it because like the choruses have that like bubblegum third wavy kind of thing, but then you go into the verse and that's the Thomas part, which to me Tokay is my favorite songwriter. So
what do you think about the Catch-22 Streetlight business?
Oh, with Keysby? So
yeah.
I am 23.
Yeah.
I did not grow up with Keysby from Catch-22. The first version I heard was the Streetlight version.
Me
of
too.
course I went back and listened to the Catch version, but I mean, there's so many elements of the Streetlight version where it's just like Jim Conte's sax solo on This One Goes Out, and like it's just emblematic of the whole experience to me.
Yeah, so like I kind of have to say the same. Like I came up with I went and saw Streetlight Manifesto live when I was probably 18 years old, and I'm 30 years old now. And I went back and listened to Catch-22, and I was like, yeah, these are definitely Cal Noki's songs, like for sure. Like when he rewrote all of them and redid all of them for Streetlight, they were sharper, they were better, they were tighter, they were more fulfilled as full songs. And like the whole situation of all the legal battles was pretty hilarious to see. I love seeing punk rock legal battles. The Cro-Mags, you're from New Jersey, so you're pretty close to New York. So the Cro-Mags legal battles are always the fucking greatest. Because I have Paris Mayhew on my Facebook. He's the original guitar player. And he doesn't talk to Harley anymore. He doesn't talk to fucking John Joseph anymore. And he's like, these guys are both fucking blowhards. And sure enough, you go look and they're sitting there just fighting with each other about who's the biggest jerk off and who's writing the book about who started hardcore first. And I think it's quite hilarious. I think it's quite hilarious. So
Yeah.
Tell me about your local scene.
So in terms of ska, New Jersey's doing very well. At the beginning of quarantine, I, alongside a couple of my friends with What Do You Know About Ska Punk, decided to put together a compilation exclusively of New Jersey bands. And we did a whole play on the hardcore comp. This is Boston, not LA, I think is the name of it. We called it This is Jersey, not CA.
Whoa. That's a call out.
And we just brought in, the idea was someone else was going to do a CA compilation and like fire back on What Do You Know About Ska Punk, and that just never happened. But New Jersey, we managed to get pretty much everybody who's active in the scene right now, and a couple of legacy bands as well. I think the only two big ones that we really missed were Best of the Worst and Thirsty Guys, who just at the time could not make it happen, even though we love them so much. But everyone else is represented pretty well on that compilation. So I think there's like 23, 24 songs on it, each one from an active band. So our scene is doing pretty well in terms of bands.
Wow. That's awesome, man. Like, that is a lot of ska bands, man. Like, so we have one or two ska bands around. We got Dr. James Reddy. And we got Amigo Phantasma. I don't think they're together anymore. 5 Alarm Funk, but I don't know if they're really a ska band. There was Burlap Sack.
There is something to be said for ska adjacent bands too.
Well, we're also in like the middle of country music fucking central, right? Like I myself have been like a grindcore death metal band. I've always done death metal. Like I want to go really fast and really heavy and freak people out with my music and like feel really tired after. And but like the music I listen to is like today I was listening to ska all day. I was listening to No Cash and I was listening to fucking I just set my playlist and it always starts with Goldfinger for the last 2 weeks.
Nice.
I
got mad respect for death metal. I used to do it when I was like learning guitar really well. A lot of the more shreddier guitar solos in Jokers are actually based out of Death Clock stuff.
Oh, there you go, heavy duty. Yeah, like I started my band as a joke, and then we
as a joke.
Yeah, I started it as a joke. It's called Horrify, but with a W, and that was the whole joke. Was like, yeah, we're called Horrify, but like we're spelled with a W because that's death metal. And then we ended up like opening for Cradle of Filth as our 5th show. So it was
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was quite the joke. But
gotta love it when you try to do something like completely not serious and then oh crap, everybody loves this. This is awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it seemed like it worked out. So let's get back to your band though. So
sure.
The new release, was that something that you've been working on over pandemic, or is that something that has just come out recently?
So usually with a Joker's album, I'm halfway through writing the new one by the time the last one comes out. So Falling Behind, I think, came out in 2019. We were about halfway through this new one around the time that it started coming out. And then the pandemic hit right after we had done a West Coast US tour, which was our first of its kind. And we hit up like punk rock royalty spots like Gilman Street. We played our first theater show,
nice.
Ended in Vegas. Like it was a big deal. And then the world shut down like right after we came back, we played a homecoming show in Asbury Park, and then everything shut down. So, you know, it took something out of us, but we recovered and locked in as a unit the lineup that would make Joker's Republic as a permanent band. No more mercenaries or fill-ins or friends, who I'm very grateful to, but this was the lineup for this band that I wanted, and we made it happen.
Good. Very good, man.
So,
Respect. It's very
yeah,
hard
shortly
to
after
do.
that-
Keep going. Keep going.
Sorry.
No worries.
Just
No,
to
you
finish the
keep going.
thought, shortly after that, we had started working on the new album. So we started recording at end of 2021.
Oh, okay. Okay, nice. So I like the way you said that. No hired guns, no mercenaries, no play arounds and hang arounds. I like that because I am very much the same. Like, I'm all for collaborations on songs and stuff, and having people come in on a tune and jump on stage for a song and like practice a tune with us for an EP or whatever. But when it comes to like playing live and like promoting a band and going through that whole process, and this is not to be said anything wrong with bands that do that, because I have a friend who is a hired gun. He's actually in a power metal band called Holoxilus, and he plays metalcore. So no disrespect. It's just for me personally, in my band, I need to know it's the same guys every time. I need to know that my guys aren't going to be like, no, this job is paying me more today, so I'm going to go with this job. I don't like that. I like the loyalty situation, you know? So,
Yeah, I mean, I did that for a while with this band for one reason or another, and there's no shame in it if you're getting your money's worth and getting what you want out of it.
Yeah.
But the lineup that I have right now with Billy playing bass and Pat playing drums is definitely the best lineup for this band. And I'm very stoked that we all came together and made an agreement and, you know, became a family, especially after this tour.
hell yeah,
And
buddy.
I'm very excited for what the future is going to bring with them. And I mean, the new record kind of speaks for itself. It's the best that I've ever put out, because the first EP was just me, and then the second was with Billy and Pat. So this third record is very much an evolution of that, and it's the best work we've done as a band, period. So we're very excited.
Man. Very rad. That's awesome. Fucking right. I love it when people get stoked about their music. I'm from a place where like a lot of people are apprehensive about getting excited about their bands because they don't want to be shit on for being in a band.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of the older guys kind of are like, I don't tell my friends that I'm in a band, man. This is just, because like, I don't know, this is my life. This kind of like the same as it is yours, right? Like, this is my whole life. This is my whole personality, the show, my band, promoting other bands, going to shows. Like, it's what I do. So when I see, and my whole family knows it, my whole family supports it. If it wasn't for, I call her the boss, if it wasn't for my partner, I probably would have given up on all this stuff before it even picked up steam, you know? So like, Che says we're jaded by not being supported by friends and family. And it's like, okay, well, okay, that's fine, but that's your fault for trying to get your friends and family to like your music when they never liked your music to begin with, because they never liked that kind of music. Like, I know my family didn't like death metal. They just are, and they never supported me before when I was in my old band either, because it was very toxic. It was very unstable. It was unsafe at times as well. So they didn't support that because I gave up. I would give up jobs to go play shows, and that's counterproductive, you know. And now I have a good job, and I have I am stable. I take care of myself, my family. So now that I've chosen to do my band stuff again, and it's working out well, my family supports me because they know it's something that's a creative outlet, and it's not something that's draining from me. It's something that's fulfilling for me, you know. And how about your family? Does your family support your musical endeavors?
I got very lucky with how supportive that my family is throughout my entire musical career. Even when I was doing metal, like, it's obviously not their cup of tea. My mom's more of like a glam metal kind of I think the most heavy she ever got was Anthrax kind of stuff.
That's
but
still
like
pretty good
Queensryche
stuff.
and Dawkins and Motley
Queensryche
Crue and
is
that kind of stuff.
deadly. Queensryche is
Mhm.
deadly.
Oh,
Hell
no
yeah.
shade. Don't get me wrong, no shade. But like death metal is definitely a far cry from that. And
Yeah,
my dad,
for sure.
my dad was around since the beginnings of punk rock. Like he was at CVs, and um, he's the one who introduced me to ska, and the support system that I have for my family. I'm very grateful for, and I wouldn't trade it for the world because like it's enabled me to do a lot of things. In fact, my dad is a artist who does all of the artwork, including the new cover art for the Joker stuff. Like anything you've seen that is visual with our logo on it, 9 times out of 10, it was probably actually done by my father.
Sweet. That's rad.
Yeah.
That's rad. Your dad's got some cool old school comic book style-y.
Yep.
I
we
like that.
we talk about that kind of stuff a lot, about how we want to represent the image of the band, and we have a very stylized approach to the artwork that we wanted to depart from for the new album, but still maintain what makes it unique. And I think we've done that pretty effectively. It's cool too, because like that's a conversation I could have over dinner. Like I don't have to wait for a response or anything like that from somebody who's working a bunch of jobs and trying to make it happen. I can just sit down and be like, hey, this is really cool, I like what you did here, what if we did this, and have that conversation, and then just be in the same place. So it's a very lucky thing that
yeah.
I recognize that it's lucky, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Family stuff like that is great. Sitting there talking about about your latest album cover. Dad, I really would like you to change this up a little bit. Well, son, I'd really like you to finish your green beans first. You know what I mean? Like,
Pretty much.
Clean your plate, take out the garbage, and I'll finish your album cover in time for the release, okay?
Pretty much. That's not inaccurate.
I feel like that's how I'm going to be with my daughter when she gets older, because I know for a fact she's going to be into bands and stuff. She's 8 years old, and I'm teaching her all this band stuff that I do. And I'm going to be doing the same thing. Serenity, I will book your band at this club after you finish cleaning your room.
Yeah. That's pretty much exactly how it started too. Because back in the day, my dad used to promote for a club in Staten Island, New York, where I was born and he's from. So I
Nice.
knew he knew how the scene kind of worked enough that I could learn how to do it from him. So for the first couple years of Jokers, that's pretty much how it worked, and I picked it up through watching and doing it with him. And I'd like to think that I have a pretty good handle on it right now, but it's all subjective. But I'm grateful that I got the lessons. It's more than a lot of people can say. So,
Yeah, well, from what I've learned, and I've had the same thing. Like only been able to learn through observation, because in the end, you can be there, you can shadow them, you can kind of glean what they're doing, but you can't learn promotion and band marketing and band management, and you can't learn the finer points of these things unless you go out and do them. And that's what everybody in the industry says, is they say, I can tell you all of these things till I'm blue in the face, but these are only the things that worked for me. These could very well not be things that work for you. And I'm starting to realize that as well. I try to do a lot of things that other people do. They don't work. So I kind of maneuver. I'm lucky because I'm able to adapt on the go. I'm able to adapt to things as they're happening, and I don't panic as much as I used to. So it seems
definitely in music, that's important.
So what's your favorite venue to play in your city, and why?
So right now we've been doing a lot of shows at Mill Hill Basement.
Before we go that far, how many venues are around you that do your kind of music? Like within, I don't know how big Jersey is, so let's say within 50 miles.
So like in north to central Jersey, it's a lot less after COVID, but there's still a few. Out of those, our favorite one, I think our favorite one that we've ever played has been House of Independence in Asbury Park. And that might just be because, A, they were super cool to us. Out of all the Asbury Park venues, they seem to be the most artist friendly, which is very cool. And we played with Mustard Plug at that show.
Nice.
So, and Hub City Stompers. Like, it was a big show for us.
Did they play Mr. Smiley?
Yes, they did. And
Oh,
Dave pulled
yeah.
out a like rubber knife and started stabbing people in the crowd with it, which was hilarious.
Oh, man, I love that song. I love
Um,
that song.
but yeah, we like that spot a lot. We've been playing a lot of shows at Mill Hill Basement in Trenton, and we like them a lot too because it's a very like punk rock aesthetic bar. I think No Effects played there at one point was the big thing that I remember hearing. But we played there like 5 or 6 times more than any other venue in the last year, and that's just because it responds well. The vibe is cool. We like going there a lot.
Very
Um,
rad. Very rad. Is it like it's a basement bar, I'm guessing?
yeah, that's the cool thing about it. It's like it's got the mentality of a DIY space without being a DIY space. Like there is a full bar and it's staffed and all that stuff that comes with the perks of playing a club, but also the mentality behind it is there's no room fee. Everyone kind of does their own thing for the music. They just kind of supply the bar.
It sounds like Vern's. Che, in the chat, it sounds like Vern's. We got a place like that here in town, and it's like a jam space with a bar. You go there, there's a PA set up. Clint is behind the bar. He's a grumpy old bastard. He tells everybody to turn their shit down or turn their shit up or plug this shit into there and don't talk shit about that. And pours everybody fucking shots of Jägermeister. For some reason, his Jägermeister is a little bit thicker. So I switched over to tequila. It was a little bit sus, so I switched over to tequila.
It's basically the same kind of vibe, yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. So, the Mill Hill Basement, that's rad as hell. Let's talk about the bands in your scene. Do you have any like partner, like brother, sister band?
So I would probably have to mention Backyard Superheroes at this point. I first saw them when they opened for the Interrupters at the show where the guy got maced.
Ooh. Sounds like a Cro-Mags show.
Well, it felt like one.
When Harley shows up.
The show was Backyard Superheroes, who at this point, I think I had just released the first EP on my own for Jokers. I didn't have a solid band yet, but it's Backyard Superheroes, Hub City Stompers, Bad Cop,
nice.
and the Interrupters at a place called Brighton Bar. And that's genuinely our favorite place to play, but it's gone now. It was in Long Branch, so it was down the shore, but it wasn't part of the Asbury scene, and it still retained that punk rock identity all the way through to COVID when it finally collapsed. And the owner was super cool to everybody who played there. Like, didn't really give you too much of a problem. If the venue was open, he would definitely let you play. It's loved the vibe that we brought and that the ska scene brought, and we miss it a lot. But back to the story. That's a digression. Backyard Superheroes played, and I didn't even know about any other bands in my scene at the time, and I saw them and went, "Wait, they're from Jersey? What? Okay." Week later, Joker's EP comes out. I get a message from Gary from Backyard Superheroes saying, "Hey, we should put a show on together." A week after I had just seen them like blow up Brighton Bar for the first time.
Yeah, I love it when that happens.
So I really got to give a shout out to them. We're pretty much tight with everybody though. We like them, Hub City Stompers. We like Disposable, the Upfucks, Fat Chance. I'm missing a lot of names, and in my haste to remember them, and I'm sorry. I Defy. There's a lot of bands. We know everybody in the scene, and we love them all.
After our chat, I want you to send me a little list so I can follow them all on Instagram.
Yeah, I'll send you the compilation.
Because hell yeah. I would love to start diving into the fucking New Jersey ska scene for the show. That would be fucking killer. I kind of got back on track with doing my in-person interviews in my local scene, so it would be killer to take this show that can reach out further and get it out further.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be more than happy to send them along, and if you need contact info, I can help you out with that too.
So killer. Thanks, buddy. I got to mention that Austen is brought on by my good buddy Dave. Dave,
yes.
Such a sweetheart. He's one of my greatest and grandest friends. So Dave has been a vegan and straight edge for, I'd like to say, probably 15 years now. And he takes me to a vegan restaurant every year for my birthday. And vegans get spicy. They get fucking spicy, Austen. I had a spicy chipotle pulled pork taco. Obviously, it was not pork. I was a little bit off put by the fact that the corn tortilla was soft
Right.
and kind of moist. I like my corn tortillas to have a little bit of crisp to them, but that's okay. I'll pull away from that for now. It was fucking spicy, bud. It was a spicy taco. It was a spicy bite.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have been able to handle that. Like,
Yeah.
there's footage from when we played on this West Coast run I'm talking about in New Mexico. It was like a Tuesday in Albuquerque at a place called Launchpad, and we walk in, and it's a cool venue. It's got like an arcade upstairs and decent stage, decent sound. We didn't expect much though because it was a Tuesday. So we're sound checking, and one of the dudes, his name's Curtis from a band called Monkey in San Jose. Curtis comes in with a bag of ghost pepper, like Pocky tortilla chips, right? And by this point, it had already come out on the tour that I'm not good with spicy food. So he's like waving it in front of me. So I'm like, no thanks, bro. I'm good. And then, you know, people are like, just do it. You won't. And then my merch guy starts getting in on it. So I'm like, fine, after the show. And they're like, sure, we believe you. I'm like, all right, fine. During the guitar solo of the last song.
Oh,
stage.
okay.
And they're like, all right, let's see it. So I go up to Billy and I go up to Pat and I'm like, hey, I'm going to do something stupid. We need to close on Wolves, right? Which, if you've ever heard the song, it has like this massive guitar solo in the middle of it. Super shreddy and like something I actually have to pay attention to. Even though I like to walk through the crowd when I do it, I have to pay attention to what I'm playing most of the time. And Billy goes, all right, just please don't hurt yourself. I said, I can't promise that. He goes, what are you doing? I said, I can't tell you. I need your reaction to be genuine. So we get up on stage and I announce it. And off mic, if you listen to the video, you can hear Billy just going, Jesus Christ. But I did it. I went over to the merch table and they fed me 8 of them suckers and I collapsed on the stage at the end of the song.
That's too much. I would have went with 1. That's enough. I got these.
It was supposed to be. They handed the bag to somebody who didn't know what was happening.
See,
so
I got these little devils. They're raspberry ghost pepper hard candies. And I got them from a photographer for the show. And I tried one on the show and it killed me. I didn't finish it. But I keep forgetting to take them when I go out. So I'm going to try and take them out to the festival this weekend. And get some footage of some people sucking back these ghost pepper candies because they are terrible. They are not tasty at all.
They make for great footage, though.
Oh, yeah.
I will say, like, the footage that I got from that show, I still have, and I still get roasted by Travis from Hub City Stompers all the time about it because I can apparently give New Jersey a bad name. But
New Jersey isn't known for spicy fucking foods. Whatever. It's like, come on. That's a New Mexico thing. You were in New Mexico, like, bro.
I'm sure it's out of love, but also it's funny as hell. So
Hub City Spice Stompers, like maybe he's sucking back, ghost pepper candies like they're regular candies.
I will say in follow up to the story, because I had eaten most of the bag at this show, I bought another one and gave it to Curtis when they came to Jersey right before Supernova Ska Festival because we had a mini run and they were chilling at my house. And Curtis is just down at them like they're nothing, like no reaction whatsoever.
Fuck
and he looks
you,
at us
guy.
and he goes, "What? They're good." I'm like,
rub your eyes really quick. Tell him, just rub your eyes really quick. You got a spider.
You got some under your glass.
You got a spider on your eye. There's ghosts in your. No, babe, that wasn't my babe said ghosts. There's ghosts in your blood. She's talking like an old California prospector.
Listen, the way he was huffing him down, I wouldn't be surprised if he had some kind of like supernatural protection against spice. But
the spice is not nice in that situation.
Spice is not nice.
I like the nice spice, but that's not nice spice.
It's not nice spice. It's pain spice.
I'm sorry if I seem like I'm yawning. I'm a construction worker, so it's
all good.
It's not because of the conversation, my friend.
It's all good. I totally understand. I just came from a full shift as a supermarket worker.
Yeah, buddy. Work is work. I do not disparage anybody's efforts. In my eyes, if you work a day at work, you deserve to fucking have a little bit of rest. I don't. In my mind, it's not like more work or less work. You know what I mean? It's not a harder job or an easier job. Respect, buddy. Work is fucking work, and you got to work to keep your dreams going.
Got to keep those guitar strings somehow.
Yeah, you got to pay your dad. And I understand, like $150 an art piece is expensive when it's your dad and you live in the same house. But, you know, your dad's got to eat too.
Yeah, he's got to put the food on the table that we discuss art over.
Could you imagine that? He's making your art and charging you $25 more than anybody else around. But you can't say no because it's dad.
It's a family and friends discount.
Nice. Hell yeah. That's awesome. So what kind of gear do you use?
So I am a big fan of Epiphone guitars. I love them very much. I find them sound a lot better than their Gibson counterparts. My main setup is an Epiphone 335 Pro that I have recently modified. On most of the Joker stuff, it's pretty much stock. It's only last year that I started getting into modding, because I couldn't use it on the last record for a number of reasons. But I use an Epiphone 335 Pro with Gibson burst buckers and some Graphtec hardware through a Marshall JCM 2000-esque. Sometimes a combo, sometimes a stack, but mostly a stack.
Sweet. That's right.
Pretty bare bones. I don't use too many effects. It's just a tube screamer for gain, and if I'm not allowed to use my own amp for overdrive, I use a Dookie drive or an FOD drive.
Ooh, spicy. Oh my goodness. So I was in the music store the other day picking up gear I gotta upgrade some gear for the show so I can interview more people on site for festivals. Now, the Epiphone, I saw the Epiphones. I like some of them too. In my mind, a Gibson SG will still always be like one of those top tier. You know, you see people throw $2,500 at a good Gibson SG all the time, and I know people that use them religiously, and like grindcore guys that use them religiously. Shout out to fucking Geneza, and I saw this one, okay, and it was an Epiphone, and it was the ugliest looking fucking guitar I've ever seen. It had these two little horns on the top, but they were really spaced out and they were really small. And I was like, this looks like a Gibson SG if you buy it off Wish. If you buy it off of Alibaba in a pack of 100 for like $50. I was like, this is fucking terrible. And they had multiple colors, multiple body colors of this guitar. And I was like, no wonder you hide this in the back corner of the fucking store. This looks like a fucking Texas oil baron drives around with this mounted on the hood of his fucking car. You know, like they look like bull horns. I was like, this is just terrible. But that's no.
So I can't speak to the SGs because I'm not really a fan of the SG sound.
Yeah.
I use more like I have a weird taste in guitars. Like I'm right next to me right here. I have the Deathclock Thunder Horse.
I like that.
This is the Brennan Small Squizgar Squig Elf Signature Explorer.
That's a Kramer.
No, it's Epiphone.
Oh, it's an Epiphone. Oh, you just said that. Sorry, I'm still.
For Metalocalypse, they made the Thunder Horse, and I also have the Flying V, the Snow Falcon. And eventually they made Epiphone versions that are basically the same guitar, just with an Epiphone thing on it.
Very rad.
Like Gibson hardware, pull pots, very similar to how I run my 335. They're higher end Epiphones, I will say that. But this, I think it kicks the crap out of the Gibson Explorer.
Sweet.
And it was only $500.
That's not bad.
It's Gibson hardware in an Epiphone body.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Significantly cheaper, and it kicks the crap out of Gibson, in my opinion.
And fucking hey, man, I can respect that opinion. You are in a band playing shows. You've been on tour before. You're not just a kid who's picked up a guitar for his first time. So I can respect that opinion. I personally, I'm a Jackson sound man. I'm not a guitarist, so I'm a vocalist. So,
Right.
and it's because I don't have the attention span to like learn an instrument. So I have a Jackson sound or a Jackson soloist,
Yep.
and it's nice. It plays really nice. It's got heavy gauge strings on it. I personally like the Fender Telecasters.
Great sound. I hate the body.
I
That's
like.
really
I think the
it's my
body.
only problem.
See, and I know a lot. That's the thing. It's a hit or miss, right? Like,
Yeah.
and the soloist is like the classic Strat body, but the horns, the cutaways are a little bit sharper on the tips. But basic shape, right? I like that Telecaster because it looks kind of like dopey and like surfer-esque, right? And I just think a baby blue or like a pastel yellow Telecaster would look just really good on stage for a grindcore band. Just like with really big, heavy gauge strings on it. Just like playing some heavy ass drawn. And Doom bands do use that. You know, I know a couple of Doom bands that use Telecasters and they fucking throw down on them. They got big stacks of orange amps and they just 4 or 5 chords in an hour, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You ever see the K-Mac video where he's genting on a Squire?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, single coils can't gent. Like, that's BS. Like, but I have these metal guitars. I have a Jackson. I have a couple Ibanez's, even a 7-string. But like the guitar I consistently go back to for heavy stuff and even some of my solos on Joker stuff because it just rips so hard is an Eric Clapton signature Stratocaster.
Nice.
Like, it's the heaviest guitar. Like, it does not sound like a Stratocaster. It sounds like a Stratocaster and a Les Paul at the same time. Because it's like got a mid booster, right? So it's got a battery in it, but it's still got the single coil sound, and it gents harder than anything else in my arsenal.
Very sick. How many guitars do you have?
13, 14.
Whoa. Very
plus
nice.
Roughly plus 2 basses. I have a decent amount, but I only really use like 4 or 5. Mostly it's my higher end Epiphones, and for solo stuff I use that Stratocaster, and it's the only time I pull that out is for solos.
Respect, buddy. Respect, man. Lots and lots of respect. I like a kid who fucking knows what he likes. What's your most expensive guitar? Is it that Thunder Horse?
No, it's probably
the Eric Clapton
Stratocaster.
Yeah,
I think it was like a $1,500 guitar.
Nice.
I do have, like I said, I have the Snow Falcon. It's in my case over there. That one was probably $700, I think, when I got it. But Flying V with Gibson Burstbuckers, it's still cheaper than getting an actual Gibson Flying V, and it sounds better. Like, so, I can't.
Very cool.
Can't
so, like,
about it.
In Rainbow Canadian money, that's like $30,000.
I think it's like. Yeah, no, I bad at math. I wouldn't be able to do the
No, I'm just cracking jokes. Should
specify 700 USD. Yeah.
Yeah, I just like to crack jokes about that stuff. You can't rip on anybody unless you know how to rip on yourself first. And
I hear that, but also jealous because Canadian money, when you guys shine the laser through it, doesn't it have like that projection thing?
Buddy, our money smells like maple syrup. Our money is virtually indestructible to everything except for scissors and knives and sharp stuff, because once you nick that shit, it fucking it shreds easy. Our money is colorful, and our money is worth less than a lot of different other kinds of money. But I am still glad to have some of that money every now and again.
Always. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, buddy, you know what I mean? Fucking rights. So, Austen, we've reached the part of the show where you get to throw down some shout-outs, and you get to bring up anything that you think we didn't touch on while we were having our convo.
I think we touched on a lot of cool stuff. I don't think I have anything specific, but hey, check out the new Joker's album, Necessary Evil, coming out July 3rd. It was produced by Roger from Less Than Jake. If you're into ska punk, I think you'll really dig it. Some heavier sections. There's some lighter sections for those who are into reggae. Yeah, check out the new album. We're very proud of it, and there will be some new songs coming out soon.
Hell yeah, buddy. I will be doing a playthrough of it when it comes out. You can bet your fucking ass on that one, Austen.
Thank you very much.
And I will be hitting you up in the future to do another show, and I will be getting that compilation, and I will be going through it and adding up bands and spreading the gospel of trash, the gospel of garbage, my friend.
Absolutely. I'd be happy. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time. Don't even worry about being late. We are very flexible. We're able to make these things work. And I'm very excited to see where Joker's Republic goes, and I'm very excited to hear this album when it comes out, buddy.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to put it out. I'm looking forward to hearing what you think of it.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you everybody who joined us tonight. From the Trash Talk HQ, from Nate Trash, and from Austen, this has been another episode of Trash Talk. So before we break off here, I gotta say, I'm gonna be out at Decimate Metal Fest this weekend in High River. I'm gonna be out there doing interviews. I'm gonna be out there shooting footage of bands. I'm gonna be out there drinking tasty High River brews. Hopefully they have that fucking black cherry one they had last year. It was fucking delicious. So this weekend is going to be huge. There's going to be some amazing bands out there. There is camping. There is fucking 2 days worth of bands. It's an outdoor show. It's all ages too. So come and fucking hang out. I'll be out there getting interviews. If you want to chill, if you want to shoot the shit about music, come on out. Austin, obviously you can't because you're on the other side of the country and then down south in another country. So
Mm-hmm. But if I could, I would, because it sounds like a lot of fun.
well, and that's another thing too. I'm planning on, like, New York is like my dream trip, and I want to get there before it sinks into the ocean. So I'm gonna be headed to New York here soon, and I'm fucking coming to see Austin. I'm coming to fucking see you. We're gonna listen to some ska. I'm gonna wear my fucking checkered pants. It's gonna be
Looking forward to it.
It's going to be a great time, buddy. So from Trash Talk, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, Austin, for joining us as well. I've been Nate Trash. I will be back on Thursday with Poltergeist OD from Edmonton talking about those weird, crazy horror movie raps. So, yeah. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great night. Goodbye.